Hey, what's up guys, my name is Anshul and today in this video let us take a quick look at the iPhone 17 leaks and rumor, because this time I think so that the leaks and the rumors are a bit more interesting, and even though that these are the early leaks and the speculations, I just wanted to break everything down into this video and see that why do I think so like that this year's of the iPhone 17s might be one of the best and the most interesting smartphones that we may get in September of the year 2025. So without wasting any time, let us just get a deep dive into this video and see that what the hype is all about for this year's of the iPhone 17 series. So the number one thing that I want to mention in this video is that for this year, we will not see the iPhone 17 Plus, and rather we will have four different iPhones. That will be the iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Air, that will be replacing the iPhone 17 Plus, and we will have the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, the fact that we will not have the iPhone 17 Plus is something that I will discuss later into this video, because that was one thing that was surprising to me, and that was again the main point of making this video, because honestly, I just do not want Apple to make a smartphone that will be the Air smartphone, and that would be replacing one of the best devices in the entire lineup, and that might have been the iPhone 17 Plus, just because of a lot of similarities to the Pro Max, and also at the same time it was one of the best battery lives in any iPhone ever. And I'm just talking about the iPhone 16 Plus as a reference in this video, so we will come on to that thing later into this video. But the good point is that all the iPhones for the year 2025, they will come with a 120 Hz of the Pro Motion display technology, and that was something that was very much specific to the Pro smartphones only until the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Maxes. But now the good news is that all the iPhones will be coming with the same technology, and in fact they might be coming with an LTPO 3.0 technology, which is again just a fancy name for variable refresh rate in the smartphones. But as per the display sizes on these new iPhones, iPhone 17 will come with a 6.3 inches display. That will be a bump up from what we had on the iPhone 16 that had a 6.1 inches display. But the iPhone 17 Air, that will be replacing the Plus model from the last year, it will be coming with a 6.55 inches display. That is again not the best that we have seen in the market and the best from the Apple, because I just wanted Apple to increase the size of the iPhones for the Plus series for this year. But again, I will talk about this thing later into this video. But the iPhone 17 Pro, it will come with a 6.3 inches display, just like what we saw for this year's of the iPhones. And the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it will come with a 6.9 inches display, just like what we saw with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So not a lot of changes on the other iPhones apart from the iPhone 17 Air. But all the iPhones might also come with an anti-reflective display technology, just like what we saw with the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Again, something that I am really excited about for this year's of iPhone. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the A19 Bionic chip on these new iPhones, because the iPhone 17 and the iPhone 17 Air will come with an A19 Bionic chip, and that would be again faster than what we had on the iPhone 16 series. But also it might and it might not be a 2nm chip as what we see in a lot of leaks and rumors, but also it can be just a modified version of the 3nm chip technology that is already in the chips that we have in the market, and those are the A18 chips. But these might be built with a finer FinFET technology rather than what we already had on the older chips in the market. But also the A19 Pro Bionic chip would be something that would be specific for the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and they might also come with a 2nm chip. But that is again something that we will see as we come closer to the launch, because as of right now we just do not have a lot of details about the internal architecture of that, what these new chips would look like on the papers. And again, as we come closer to the launch, I will just update you that what might be the leaks and the speculations on these new chips as we see. Now, the next thing is the design on the latest iPhones, and as I just mentioned before, we will get a new design on the iPhone 17 Air as what the leak says. But in my opinion, the design would not be much more different than what we had on the iPhone 16 from the last year. but the only difference would be that there would be just a single camera, and also the device would be a 5 mm thin device on the iPhone 17 Air versus what we had on the iPhone 16 Plus. That was again a 7.8 mm device, and again the difference is just a lot, and the footprint is also a bit more different. So I just do not think so that these smartphones will be coming with the best in the terms of the battery life. That is one of my biggest complaints. But also there will be just a single camera on the back of these smartphones, and that will be a 48 megapixel main camera sensor that will also double as a telephoto camera sensor by just cropping into the image and giving you a 2x zoom. But something that is not an innovation in my opinion, but something that is just downgrade rather than coming up with the newer ideas. We also saw the very same thing with the Google Pixel 3 series in the past, and also the latest iPhones that we have got in the market, the iPhone 16 and the iPhone 16 Plus, they also use their primary camera sensor, that is a 48 megapixel one, to be able to crop into the image and to be used as a telephoto camera sensor. But now onto the cameras on the iPhone 17, it will be a dual camera setup just like what we saw with the iPhone 16. So yes, something that in my opinion might be a better device. But the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max, they will get a triple camera sensor as what we have on the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, we might get an updated telephoto camera sensor, and that might be now a 48 megapixel one. Now I'm not too sure that we will get the same camera sensor on the regular iPhone 17 Pro or no, but I just think so that that would be a possibility as well. Now there are some other leaks and the speculations that also say that the new camera sensors on the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max might come with a variable aperture camera sensor, as just what we see in the Samsung smartphones. And again, this is something that is very common with the smartphones in this day and time, but that might also be a thing for the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max, because again I just do not see the point of Apple just making a lot of changes on the newer iPhones. And again, that is the main point. The new iPhones would not be a much more different than what we already see on the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. But there are some other leaks and speculations that say that we will see a design change on the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Again, something that I just do not believe, because we do not have any kind of leaks and rumors and the CAD design that might show a change. And also we just saw some changes in the terms of inclusion of a camera control button on the latest iPhones, and also now we have got a titanium frame. The sides of these smartphones are a bit more flatter than what we had in the past. So yes, I do not think so that we will get a major design bump on the latest iPhones, and we would just see something that is very close to the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max on this new iPhone 17 Pros and the 17 Pro Maxes. Now the next thing is that the camera that is on the selfie of the iPhone 17 series on all the four smartphones might be an updated 24 megapixel camera sensor, and also the leaks also suggest that we will see a smaller cut in the terms of the dynamic island fill that we see on this iPhone. That is again something that is a nicer touch, but again it would not be a much more difference than what we already see on these iPhones. Now one thing that I just want Apple to include on the latest iPhones in the terms of the cameras is the inclusion of a 1-inch camera sensor, but that is again something that I have been asking from the past 2 years from the latest iPhones. And all the smartphones, the major flagships in the Chinese market, they do come with a 1-inch camera sensor, but this is something that is not there on the iPhones as of right now. And again, I do not think so that Apple would be including a 1-inch camera sensor. But one thing that I can really compromise on these new iPhones is this camera control button, and I would just any day pick a 1-inch camera sensor on the iPhones rather than just getting this camera control button, because again the experience of this thing is not the best one in my opinion. And as of the time that I am owning this iPhone 16 Pro Max, I never use this camera control button except for the times when I was making these videos and showcasing these features to you guys. But something that is there on this iPhone, and they might have just put that money towards a 1-inch camera sensor, and that would just make a lot more sense in my opinion. Now a few other things that might be upgraded on the latest iPhones is that the Pro and the Pro Max might come with a 12GB of RAM instead of the 8GB one, and the reason is just because they can utilize some amount of this RAM for the air task on the smartphones, just like what we see with the Google Pixel smartphones in the market. And that might be one of the best best moves because yes, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, it does not feel like one of the most ruined devices just because of the less amount of RAM that is available, and you do see a lot of stutters on these devices, and it would just make a lot of sense to include a 12 GB of RAM on at least the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17 Pro Max. But one another major change that we might see on the latest iPhones is that there might be an inclusion of a 5G modem that is built by Apple rather than being built by the Qualcomm, and also we might see the same thing for the Wi-Fi 7 modem, and that is again a good thing because I am seeing a lot of network drops on the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and finally there might be a better integration in the terms of the networks and the modems on the iPhone 17 series just because the modem might be built by Apple rather than being built by Qualcomm. Again, the Qualcomm modems are not the bad ones, but I think so when Apple builds it, it would be the one that would be much better integrated with the Apple iPhones. It could just go either way because maybe Apple would fail to deliver the best in the market and it might just make the worst iPhone experience ever. But this is something that I am just waiting for the latest iPhone to be having on the iPhone 17 series. And now that brings me towards the last point towards this video, and that is that for this year we will be getting the iPhone 17 Air as I just mentioned in the starting of the video instead of getting the iPhone 17 Plus, and that in my opinion is just not a good move. And the reason is just because of the thin profile of the iPhone 17 Air that might kill the best feature on the iPhone Plus series that we have been seeing from the longest time, and that is the battery life on this iPhone. In my opinion, what Apple should have done is that they should have just included a ProMotion display on the iPhone 17 Plus instead of killing the iPhone 17 Plus and just calling it a day. Or maybe they should have just included the iPhone 17 Air as the fifth smartphone in the entire lineup, and that would just make a lot of sense in my opinion. But again, a smaller footprint with something that is a bit more slimmer, and also I do not think so that the ProMotion display would be helping anything in the terms of the battery life, but that is something to see when these new iPhones would be finally here. And well, now with that said, that was all that I wanted to mention about the iPhone 17 series in this video. But do let me know in the comment sections below that would you want Apple to release the iPhone 17 Air and replace the iPhone 17 Plus, or you just want Apple to release iPhone 17 Air as a fifth device. Do let me know in the comment sections below. My name is Aishul. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.